shooting at people. At least 2 people were killed. We are following breaking news, a deadly shooting spree at a restaurant in Tennessee. And now the hunt is on for the killer. You're looking live at the Waffle House in Nashville, where the rampage happened early this morning. 4 people are confirmed dead and 4 others are hurt. Police say the gunman pulled up to the parking lot and within minutes started shooting at people. At least 2 people were killed outside of the restaurant. The other victims were shot inside the restaurant. Witnesses say that shooter was naked, only wearing a green jacket, and was armed with an AR-15 rifle. A customer managed to wrestle the gun away, and the suspect took off running. Investigators are now searching for 29-year-old Travis Reinking, who they believe is the gunman. The suspect's pickup truck was registered in Illinois.
I ain't heard nothing about this. This just happened less than 24 hours ago. Why isn't this all in the, I can't get no of it. I mean, so I know he
We
has.
asked Jimmy Shaw to visit with you today. Mr. Shaw, since the shooting, has been to church at Jefferson Street, and he agreed to speak with you. What James is going to do is just tell you from his perspective, from his eyes, what he saw and what he did. And then after James speaks, there'll be other speakers, and at the end, we'll save the end for questions. James, come on up.
How's it going, everybody? So last night, I went out with my best friend. We went to a club out in Antioch, the Antioch area. We left the club at about 2:30ish. We actually went to the Bell Road Waffle House first, but it was pretty packed in there. Like 2 or 3 times within the Murfreesboro Road Waffle House. So we left there, got some gas, and then we went to the Murfreesboro Road Waffle House. Got there, I think, at about 3:17ish. When we got out our vehicles, we both saw the gold Silverado. I actually saw the silhouette of his face, but you can't really just, judge a person just off of that. So we proceeded in. We sat down at the high chairs, tabletops. I was sitting in like the first chair, and my friend was sitting in like the third chair. We had a chair in between us, and we distinctively remember the cook. The cook was actually washing dishes, and he was stacking the plates up, and he was stacking them pretty high up on the hood to where we were like, those are gonna fall off. Well, at the same time he was doing that, another Waffle House employee was actually about to go on his break, and I heard him say, he said, I'm just going to go smoke a cigarette, I'll be right back. So when we first heard what I know now is the gunshot, we thought it was plates crashing, because we had pretty much made that up in our minds that it was, the plates were going to fall. Then the second one happened, and the third one happened. I think that's when the glass busted and broke through, and then I saw the Waffle House employee scatter. Then I looked back and I saw a person laying on the ground right at the entrance of the door. So then I jumped pretty much and slid from the tabletop to the entrance of the door. And I think he let off some shots through the glass, and then he proceeded to come in. And then when he proceeded to come in, I actually went behind this like a push door, swivel door, and he shot through that door, I'm pretty sure, and I'm pretty sure he grazed my arm. And it was at that time that I kind of made up my mind, because there's no way to lock that door, that if it was going to come down to it, he was going to have to work to kill me. So at the time that he was either reloading or the gun jammed or whatever happened is when I ran through the swivel door. I hit him with the swivel door, and then the gun was kind of jammed up and it was pushed down, so we were scuffling, and I managed to get him with one hand on the gun, and then I grabbed it from him and I threw it over the countertop, and then after that I was trying to get out the door, and I think he was pretty much in the entranceway, so I just took him out with me out of the entrance and all the way outside, and then I proceeded to run around, and he had like a walk, trot, pace type of jog that he was doing, trying to get away, and that's kind of what happened.
It's cocaine. So you have to understand.
We want to take you now to Nashville. Police are giving an update on the investigation into this morning's mass shooting at a Waffle House. Let's listen in.
Ryan King arrived in the parking lot of the Waffle House in his pickup truck. Ryan King sat inside the pickup truck for 3.5 to 4 minutes just looking at people inside the restaurant. After about 4 minutes, Ryan King got out of his truck, armed with an AR-15 rifle, and started shooting. There were 2 persons standing outside the restaurant. They were the first ones who were hit, both fatally. Ryan King then entered the restaurant and began shooting. As he was shooting, a patron of the restaurant, James Shaw Jr., ran to the restroom area of the Waffle House, saw that the shooting had stopped, and saw an opportunity to intervene. Mr. Shaw wrestled the rifle away from Ryan King and tossed it into another part of the restaurant to end the gunfire, Mr. Shaw saving, obviously, many lives in his heroic action. Ryan King entered the restaurant and got out of the truck nude except for a green jacket. A block away from the Waffle House, or not even a block, he shed the green jacket and continued southbound on Murfreesboro Pike on foot. When we recovered that green jacket, there were 2 magazines containing AR-15 ammunition. He clearly came armed with a lot of firepower, intending to devastate the South Nashville area. The police department's hazardous devices unit, the bomb squad if you will, responded to the Waffle House to ensure that there were no explosives in Ryan King's truck. The police department didn't search the truck until we were sure that it was safe. Once the bomb squad cleared the truck, we learned from paperwork inside that Ryan King lived at a nearby apartment. The police department went to that apartment, the SWAT team, that apartment was cleared. We are presently concerned about evidence of 2 guns in that apartment that have not been located. There is a chance that Ryan King at this moment is at large with 2 other weapons. At present, we believe that after Ryan King left the Waffle House walking south on Murfreesboro Road, he went to his apartment, put on a pair of pants, and then went to a wood line behind the apartment. According to a witness, a shirtless man fitting Ryan King's description was seen in the wood line. A police helicopter and several police dogs attempted a track of Ryan King. The dogs were tracking along the TVA power line, the power grid, until the dogs lost the track. But we think he has fled that immediate area on foot. At this point, we do not know where he is. Ryan King is believed to have moved to Nashville in the fall of 2017. He worked in the crane or construction trade. We have learned from some sources that Ryan King was fired about 3 weeks ago from one employer and recently applied for and received a job from another employer. According to that employer, Ryan King worked on Monday of this week and did not return on Tuesday. They have not seen him since Monday. We have learned that Ryan King was arrested by the United States Secret Service for being in a restricted area near the White House in July of 2017. He was subsequently released. Ryan King was later interviewed by Tazewell County, Illinois authorities and the FBI. His Illinois firearms authorization was revoked, to our understanding, at the request of the FBI, and 4 weapons were seized by Tazewell County authorities. Among the weapons seized by those authorities was the AR-15 rifle used at the Waffle House today. The police department has received information that the guns were returned by Tazewell County authorities to Ryan King's father, who has now acknowledged giving them back to his son. As I said a moment ago, presently 2 of the 4 guns that were given back to his son are unaccounted for. We have the AR-15 rifle recovered from the Waffle House this morning. There was also another rifle recovered by the SWAT team at his apartment early this afternoon. Ryan King's whereabouts are presently unknown. Searches are on by law enforcement throughout the area, including our federal partners. Anyone seeing Ryan King or knowing his whereabouts, please call the Nashville Police Department at 615-862-8600, your local law enforcement agency, or if outside the immediate Middle Tennessee area, your local FBI office. At this time, I would like to introduce Nashville Mayor David Briley.
Thank you, Don. This morning, our city woke up to tragic news. The fragility of life was brought home to us all by the death of 4 innocent Nashvillians. On behalf of the city of Nashville, I want to say that our heart goes out to all the victims and their families, and I ask that Nashville continue to pray and rally around them all. Thanks go out to our first responders who have been working diligently since early this morning. I know that the Metro Police Department continues to work diligently to find this shooter and to apprehend him. Also this morning I met and visited with Nashville's newest hero, James Shaw Jr. Thrown into crisis, he acted with courage. He told me he saw an opportunity and he took it. He saved lives. That is certain, and we are all thankful to him for his bravery. Tragedies like today shouldn't happen. It's been only 7 months since we had another mass shooting here in Nashville, and that is far too frequent. We need comprehensive gun reform to address mass shootings, domestic shootings, accidental shootings, and homicides. If we can all just come together for this and for the greater good, we can take these weapons of war off the streets of our country. I know that we all want to live in a safe environment that allows everyone to go to work or school and feel and be safe. We all want to live up to our greatest potential. And it's my responsibility as the mayor of Nashville to try and make that happen. Clearly, the victims of this shooting deserve our prayers and our thoughts, but they also deserve leaders who will step up and take action and do something to get these weapons off our streets. For a moment, let's be honest about what happened. Last night, innocent Nashvillians were terrorized by a man with an AR-15. Let's be honest. Some people see these weapons as having a purpose of terrorizing other people. It's happening too much. Enough is enough.
We asked James Shaw to visit with you today. Mr. Shaw, since the shooting, has been to church at Jefferson Street, and he agreed to speak with you. What James is going to do is just tell you from his perspective, from his eyes, what he saw and what he did. And then after James speaks, there'll be other speakers, and at the end, we'll save the end for questions. James, come on up.
How's it going, everybody? So last night, I went out with my best friend. We went to a club out in Antioch, the Antioch area. We left the club at about 2:30ish. We actually went to the Bell Road Waffle House first, but it was pretty packed in there, like 2 or 3 times what was in the Murfreesboro Road Waffle House. So we left there, got some gas, and then we went to the Murfreesboro Road Waffle House. Got there, I think, at about 3:17ish. When we got out our vehicles, we both saw the gold Silverado. I actually saw the silhouette of his face, but you can't really just, judge a person just off of that. So we proceeded in. We sat down at the high chairs, tabletops. I was sitting in like the first chair, and my friend was sitting in like the third chair. We had a chair between us, and we distinctively remember the cook. The cook was actually washing dishes, and he was stacking the plates up, and he was stacking them pretty high up on the hood to where we were like, those are gonna fall off. Well, at the same time he was doing that, another Waffle House employee was actually about to go on his break, and I heard him say, he said, I'm just gonna go smoke a cigarette, I'll be right back. So when we first heard what I know now is the gunshot, we thought it was plates crashing, because we had pretty much made that up in our minds that it was, the plates were gonna fall. Then the second one happened, then the third one happened. I think that's when the glass busted and broke through, and then I saw the Waffle House employee scatter. Then I looked back and I saw a person laying on the ground right at the entrance of the door. So then I jumped pretty much and slid from the tabletop to the entrance of the door. And I think he let off some shots through the glass, and then he proceeded to come in. And then when he proceeded to come in, I actually went behind this like a push door, swivel door, and he shot through that door, I'm pretty sure, and I'm pretty sure he grazed my arm. And it was at that time that I kind of made up my mind, because there's no way to lock that door, that if it was gonna come down to it, he was gonna have to work to kill me. So at the time that he was either reloading or the gun jammed or whatever happened is when I ran through the swivel door. I hit him with the swivel door, and then the gun was kind of jammed up and it was pushed down, so we were scuffling. And I managed to get him with one hand on the gun, and then I grabbed it from him and I threw it over the countertop. And then after that, I was trying to get out the door, and I think he was pretty much in the entranceway, so I just took him out with me, out of the entrance and all the way outside. And then I proceeded to run around, and he had like a walk, trot, pace type of jog that he was doing, trying to get away, and that's kind of what happened.
Now, Matt Espenshaid, the Assistant Special Agent in charge of the FBI, who heads the Nashville office.
Afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being out here. I concur that it's a sad day for Nashville, but we tend to come together during these, and unfortunately, we've had to do it a few times here. You know, I'm blessed to be in a profession that is tasked with protecting the people of our communities and our country. But I have to say today, James, thank you for taking that personal oath to protect your community and other people. You're earning a great deal of thanks by everyone in this room and everyone in our community. So thank you very much. I'd like to just say thank you also to the other law enforcement entities in this room, particularly the Metro Police Department. They are outstanding when it comes to cooperating with law enforcement on the local, federal, and state side to resolve these issues. And you have our oath that today, all we're thinking about, all we're working towards is coming to a resolution in this, finding the shooter, putting him in custody, and moving on to the next phase of this investigation. I've come with a prepared statement from the FBI, and I'll read it to you, and then we'll be available for questions later. This was stated by Mr. Aaron before, and I'll state it again. In July of 2017, the FBI Springfield, Illinois field office received information regarding Travis Reinking from the U.S. Secret Service. In coordination with the Secret Service and state and local law enforcement, the FBI took investigative steps to include database reviews and interviews. Coordinated action was taken with the Illinois State Police to revoke Mr. Reinking's firearm owner's identification card and the Tazewell County Sheriff's Office to then remove firearms from his possession. After conducting all appropriate investigation, the FBI closed its assessment of Mr. Reinking in October of 2017. I feel confident the FBI took the appropriate steps and did everything within our federal jurisdiction that we could at the time. So thank you for your time.
Now, Todd Hudson, the Special Agent in charge of the United States Secret Service Nashville office.
Good afternoon. Todd Hudson, Special Agent in charge with the Secret Service Nashville Field Office. Just like to echo the sentiments that have been stated already. Like my counterpart at the FBI, I have a prepared statement from Secret Service headquarters. Jeffrey Reinking has been identified by the Metro Nashville Police Department as the suspect in the shooting that occurred today in Antioch. Reinking became a record of the Secret Service following a July 7, 2017 arrest by the Secret Service Uniform Division. Officer Reinking was charged with unlawful entry after crossing an exterior security barrier near the White House complex. Information regarding their arrest was provided to our local law enforcement partners, including the FBI, at the time of the arrest to ensure appropriate authorities were aware of the circumstances surrounding Reinking's arrest. The Secret Service Nashville Field Office and Secret Service Headquarters divisions are working closely with all law enforcement personnel on this investigation. Thank you.
And now Marcus Watson, the Special Agent in charge of ATF for the Tennessee and Alabama jurisdiction.
Good afternoon. Sadly, this morning, my agents responded to assist our local partners in this investigation. Upon arrival, we were able to identify, with the assistance of our local partners, Nashville Police Department, the firearm used in question, an AR-15. We initiated an urgent trace for that weapon. We've identified when that weapon was legally purchased in 2011 in Illinois. We provided that information to the investigation. We stand with our local and federal partners in this investigation. I've directed all of my resources available, including K9, our Crime Gun Intelligence Center, to support and offer all resources available to us, to our partners, to make sure that the suspect is found swiftly, and he has his day in court. Thank you.
And now Walt Amer, the President and CEO of Waffle House.
Good afternoon. I'm here to express our condolences to the victims and their families. It is a very sad day indeed for our Waffle House family of associates and customers who are impacted by this tragedy today. All of our attention right now is focused on the victims and their families and our associates who were working that night and others who are affected and knew the people who were working that night. And we're here to support them in any way we possibly can. I personally want to thank Mr. Shaw. You don't get to meet too many heroes in life, Mr. Shaw, but you are a hero. You're my hero. You saved people's lives, and I talked to some of those people you saved today, and they will think of you for the rest of their days, as will I, and we are forever in your debt and grateful for the courage that you displayed taking care of your fellow man, and so I thank you. I also want to thank Mayor Briley, Chief Anderson, and the brave men and women of the Metro Police Department who are working tirelessly out there at that scene today and searching for this man. And we will do anything we can to help and support your efforts in that regard. Thank you.
Chief Anderson will now take your questions.
So let me say this is a collective effort. Metropolitan Nashville Police Department, Secret Service, FBI, ATF, and also our partners at the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security. The search continues for Mr. Reinke, and that search will continue until he's apprehended. And so collectively, we'll take any questions that you might have. But we do not. We do not. We suspect some mental issues, but at this time, there's no notes, no verbal explanations. So we don't have a motive at this time. I've not got a report of him saying anything at all. He does not here locally. He does not. He was interviewed in Illinois in relation to his being on the premises of the White House, and I'll let the Secret Service address that. But he was interviewed by the FBI there in Illinois, and also the Sheriff's Department there in Illinois. You know, I don't know exactly what the law is in Illinois. It's my understanding that the guns were surrendered to him, and that's part of Illinois law because he could properly possess them. And so at some point he returned them to the son. So I don't know of any penalty there, but that's Illinois law, and I'm not familiar with that. Certainly not the country that we're built on.
The White House, that his guns were
Gave us all the resources.
concerned that he may be armed with 2 guns they have not been able to locate. Also, we know that the suspect was arrested last year by Secret Service for being in a restricted area near the White House. Guns were taken away as a result of that arrest, but then apparently returned to the suspect by the suspect's father. We know from authorities that they believe he went to that Waffle House armed with an AR-15 and clips of ammo with the intent of harming a great number of people. In the process of carrying out the attack, according to authorities, he exited his pickup truck at that Waffle House in the early hours Sunday morning, struck down 2 people who were standing outside, and then proceeded inside the restaurant where he began firing. It was at that point that he encountered a person authorities are calling a hero, James Shaw, who was inside that Waffle House as a customer. Shaw told us that he thought at first the sound of gunfire was dishes, plates crashing, but then he saw a person lying on the ground, realized what happened, And it was at that point that the suspect, authorities say, entered that restaurant and a confrontation happened. James Shaw saying that he went behind a swivel door to try and get some cover. The suspect, he said, shot through that door. And then Shaw said, I pretty much made up my mind that essentially he would need to confront this suspect. He ran through the swivel door, hit the suspect with it, he said, wrestled away that AR-15, and the suspect took off. The CEO of Waffle House said to Shaw, you are a hero. You are my hero. And of those people whose lives he saved at the restaurant, he said, they will think about you for the rest of their days. We're going to continue to monitor this story and bring you the latest as news warrants. Right now, we'll take a quick break. More news after this. You're streaming.
All right, we back. They still looking for the shooter. I don't know what's up with this propaganda, but you gotta understand. I mean, the stuff that you be seeing, be doing, you know, you're just not getting a taste of it. You know, the thought process. You know, you can't show what you don't know. That's how they try to get these kids. That's how they try to get these people to understand that you have rules behind this. There's rules behind it, you know. These kids don't know the rules, so they have to be babied and this and that, you know. I mean, you understand it's a cold game, but I hope the young man will just go ahead and just turn himself in, you know. Turn yourself in. You know, I mean, I understand how you might be feeling and thinking, you know, I thought that many times. I lived through it. I'm talking about the 70s, the 80s. I was raised around the military setting, Marines, crazy ass Vietnam veterans. You know, the base was right there down the street, pretty much. I was raised in, I mean, we played war games every day. That's all we did. The 70s, coming up in the 80s. Then I went to the military and got dumbed down. Got dumbed down. I was ready to go to war. They dumbed me down. I mean, I don't want none of this mess. You know, I try to kill these people just easily. You know what I'm saying? I want to go to war. You know, I want to sit there and fire them and just shoot them from a distance. And that's what they got these kids thinking. They got them thinking this way. You know what I'm saying? It started with us. It started with us. You know, you understand his thought process. But see, I knew the rules. I was raised up knowing the rules behind it, you know? I love these kids. They got no rules. They got technology. This technology is killing them. They can't handle all this stuff. You send these kids to a war with no battle. So they got their battle. They're learning online. It's a cool game.